So I finally got a figure I've been looking forward to for a long time, which is the Bandai Mechagodzilla 1974. This is Sola Chogokin DX. And in my next video, the video I'm going to produce will show the gimmicks. But in this one, I'm going to do a tale of the tape of all three of my Mechagodzilla figures. The one Mechagodzilla figure I don't own is the MonsterVerse version because I think it looks terrible. So I never felt like purchasing it. So the Showa version clocked in at 160 feet. That is what Toho has listed it at. This figure here is a beast. It is about 10.5 inches high, and I weighed it in at 2 pounds 1 ounces. So this thing is just filled with metal. It feels like all of this is metal, and it is heavy. It is beefy. So 2.1 pounds for a figure, that's a lot of metal. And again, this is a Sola Chogokin DX version, so I'm going to put him to the side a little bit. Unfortunately, because of the nature of my camera, it's hard to show. I'm going to put him in here. Now he looks a lot smaller because this figure is on a stand. He would be about more like that in height. This is from the 2002 film. This is also Sola Chogokin. This is the GX 103. This I think he went by Kiryu, but we call it in the film it was Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. He was listed as 200 feet tall, so only slightly taller than the Showa Mechagodzilla. I love the design of this one. I love them both, but this is one where I think it actually improves on the classic design. It's very sleek, very detailed, really nice. This one comes in at 1 pound 3.5 ounces, so it's considerably lighter, and you can feel the huge difference in weight, and just there's a lot of plastic. It all feels plastic. Now it has a lot of weight down on the feet, so that's smart thinking to keep the weight low. But between the two, yeah, this one is a lot heavier. So 10.5 inches tall. This is about 9.5 inches tall. So not that much shorter, but it does feel like it's a lot smaller, but that's again partially because it's on a stand. So they came in about the same price, despite the fact that this one has a lot more metal and it's got the gimmicks. So the final one I'll show is my Monster Arts figure. He looks tiny. So this one is from the Heisei era. He clocks in at 390 feet, so he is well over double the height of the Showa version, but this figure is about 7 inches. So this one is in line with the scale of the Sola Chogokin Godzilla figures. And this one is 9.4 ounces. And this one also is a lot of plastic, and then we have some metal in the feet. So beautiful design, but for just impact, yeah, the larger Sola Chogokin. I don't know that there necessarily is a Sola Chogokin scale. I don't know that there is necessarily a DX, Sola Chogokin DX scale. This is probably a very similar height to the only other Sola Chogokin DX figure I own is my Mazinger Z. And so, yeah, I think that these are probably a similar height. It would be kind of cool. They didn't do it, and you know, it's their choice. But I actually think it would be kind of cool if they had something similar to what they did with the Mazinger Z DX version, which is have some lights at the bottom. Although I could put something in myself and just shine lights up on top of it. So that would be pretty cool. But I know that when I first announced that they were going to be releasing this figure and that it would not be in scale, with the 2002 version, the other Solar Chogokin. I know one of the commenters was like, oh, well, to hell with it. I'm just not going to buy it. I didn't really agree with that, but I do think it would have been cool if they would have been in scale. Now, in scale is it's kind of a, a tricky topic because what does it mean to be in scale? To be in scale would be like if they were the same height, but they were not the same height in the movies. And technically, this figure would be slightly larger than this one if they were in scale with each other. And if we had a DX version of the Solar Chogokin figure, this one, which was the Heisei figure, then it would be massive compared to this figure, more than double the size. So it's kind of tricky saying in scale, but it would have been cool if they looked, if this figure here came with a stand and they were able to stand next to each other and look similar in size. With the Monster Arts Godzillas, you could say that they're in scale. They're in scale with each other, but they're not technically in scale because they're all the same height, which was about 6.5 inches. Whereas in the movies, they are dramatically different in size. Same with the Solar Chogokin robots, like Mazinger and other robots, which are all about 7 inches, despite the fact that in the anime, the listed heights vary wildly. And Mazinger Z actually is considered one of the shortest, smallest robots from that era, which was piloted robots. So I'm going to be showing this one and all of its accoutrements, but I will say right now that I'm really happy with it. It's pretty neat. And again, this is a lot of metal. It's really, really hard, if not impossible, to tell looking at the figure how much metal there is, but I can tell you there is a ton, and it has a lot of weight. So that is the at least for me, the brand new released Mechagodzilla 1974 from Bandai Solar Chogokin DX.